The house here at Cheamside is about half an hour from Launceston on the west bank of the Tamar River, an idyllic part of Tasmania. Dad's been here for over 30 years now. He's lost 99% of his sight. He's very safe here because he's familiar with what is in all the right places. It's a very protected valley, just open a little to the southeast winds, and when the large westerlies come through, it is subject to these occasional storms.
The conditions were pretty atrocious. We had strong winds for several days, torrential rain. We had some flooding in various areas, and we'd had lots of trees down.
I was bending down, putting my evening meal in the oven.
And suddenly there was this almighty noise and clatter, and he thought it was a thunderbolt had hit the house.
And I stayed down when all the racket went on. And when I stood up, the trunk was just outside the kitchen window.
This one was massive. The largest tree impact I've ever seen on a residence.
When we drove down the driveway and saw what had fallen, this literally 20-tonne tree right across the front of the house, the potential for damage and death was just so high. The next morning, I put in a call to our insurance broker.
We in turn transferred that call to our claims department over in Melbourne. They took action and notified QBE of the incident. OAMPS
gave our GSSC all the information they needed, and prior to the commencement of business the very next day, the GSSC chose to instruct Crawfords, and David was instructed to attend that day.
I gave Gillian a call and said to her that I was about 100 kilometres away. We'd organised panel builders to actually come and quote the repairs and so on. And in the meantime, they came and did emergency repairs that were required. They did the necessary make-safes.
There was a team of people. It was a building site underway without us having to do any more than make one telephone call.
The tree that was outside was pulled away from the house and was blocked up within 24 hours.
When I arrived, I was met at the door by Gillian.
He was just the calmest, most professional, the kindest person. He said that he would always be available, which he was. It didn't matter what time of the day or night I needed to ring. He kept me informed.
The most important thing was to do something with Slim. But I said to Gillian, look, we need to get some temporary accommodation for him. This is going to take a little while to fix. Because I knew it was covered under the policy, I just told her when she came up with a figure, which I thought was reasonable, yep, okay, go ahead and do that.
Consequently, I was rehoused at company cost.
And it wasn't even something that had occurred to me about that the insurance company would cover. But in actual fact, in a practical sense, it was probably one of the most significant parts of the policy. Literally days later, the scaffolding was going up and the trucks were here, and there was another massive team of people. I think I came down on that first day where the project started. I reckon there may be 12 people on site.
Burley and Dean are on our panel of builders. You can always rely on them to go that extra mile. Slim built his house, and I'm sure that Burley and Dean acknowledged and appreciated how well the house was built and the effort that Slim put in to build his own home.
He wanted the building back as it was. He didn't want any changes. He wanted the internal to, with the exposed beams, and to all go back to as it was. So we had to sort of mimic the construction of the building inside.
Everything's been replaced to the nearest degree that one could ever wish for. Everything happened and came together, and that's a pretty rare thing when there's a lot of stress going on around you. The weeks went by in a flash.
From the removal of the tree to the actual repairing of it to the point where the client can move back into their house, it's been 12 weeks.
I was able to open the front door and just admire all that had been done. As I came back up the hall, I thought, I don't know, I wouldn't mind buying this place. That was how good it was. It was brilliant.
Initially, the estimate was of $250,000 to think it came down to half of that is just remarkable.
From start to finish, it was done in a fashion that probably exceeded our expectations and certainly our clients' expectations.
For me, it demonstrates that our systems are working properly. Our people have a handle on the situations on the ground, and it's great for the brokers to see that also. They can ring our GSSC knowing that the result will be the right one, and at the end of the day, the process from reporting the claim right through to putting the client back in their home is going to be seamless, and that was certainly the case with this claim.
I mean, with any claim that's reported to us, obviously we have a management system in place to track how a claim is progressing, and we would normally look to chase in an insurance company or the loss adjuster to see where a claim is at. In the case of the claim for Slim, we did not have to do that at any stage. We were kept abreast as to how things were progressing. We never got one phone call from the client looking for an update because they were always kept abreast as to what was happening.
When the disaster happens, what you want is the support that QBE has provided to us. We will always choose QBE as our preferred insurance company for anything that we have.
This claim for Slim has proven that it's not all about price, that it's also about an after-sales service that a company offers, and claims being one of them. So this allows OAMs to be able to be an advocate of QBE when speaking with other clients.
QBE comes out top of the shop as far as I'm concerned for what has happened to me.
To know that all our people have come together to facilitate that, it's a great story.
It seems to me that there must be a top-down culture within the organisation about caring about people, and having a strong and professional company like QBE that understands the significance of that has changed my view about insurance, totally.